All right, next story. Don Lemon arrested.
Hi, guys. This has pretty much been explained. Jonathon Daily.
I was surprised it actually happened. Will anything actually come from it? Will he actually be convicted? Probably not, because that never happens to these left-leaning people. I don't know why, guys. I wish I had a better answer as to why. Maybe there's just not that many good right-leaning attorneys out there, or maybe it has to do with actually getting a jury to convict, because a lot of juries are going to be left-leaning because that's just the necessary pool sometimes. It is what it is. Don Lemon, the former CNN anchor turned independent journalist, was arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles on January 30th, 2026 in connection with a protest that occurred on January 18th at City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. The protest involved anti-immigration enforcement demonstrators who went inside a worship service. The reason I emphasize went inside is because it definitely would not be a prosecutable offense had they stayed outside of the worship and just been on the sidewalk or the public street, public corner protesting this church. But you can't go inside and actually impede on people worshiping the Lord. They interrupted it, chanting against ICE. Lemon live streamed and interviewed people during the event. Federal authorities have accused him and others of violating federal laws that protect access to worship services and civil rights, specifically statutes like the Freedom of Access to Clinics Entrances Act, the FACE Act, and potentially a Reconstruction-era Ku Klux Klan Act, Civil Rights Conspiracy Law. Okay. So will anything happen from this? I don't know. But it needed to happen. And does he need to get convicted? Absolutely, he should, because just for a minute here, let's put the shoe on the other foot. What if a white Christian had went into a Somali mosque to protest against the Somalian fraud going on in Minneapolis? Just picture that for a minute, a good old boy, Confederate flag running in there saying Jesus is Lord and saying, yeehaw, these Somalians are in here practicing, worshiping Muhammad. You guys are the worst. You're committing fraud, and we're not going to let you worship in here. Good. Can you imagine? They probably would be killed, honestly, and people would say it was justified. But would he get prosecuted? Yeah, he absolutely would, if not killed on site. So this kind of stuff absolutely needs to happen, and Christians need to stand up in this country and start fighting. Yes, fighting. There is a time for peace, and there's a time to stand up and fight for what you believe in. And this whole passive, we don't want to get into politics. Go look at some videos of Charlie Kirk before he was brutally murdered in front of millions of people. If your pastor is not willing to take stances on certain political issues, because politics is downstream of culture, or it can be switched these days, you absolutely cannot stay silent on these issues if you truly are, because we're at the point, people, it's not just left versus right. It's downright evil and chaos and lawlessness versus the Lord following the law, doing the right thing, and not committing blatant fraud and not violating laws. We're at that point, people. And if you haven't woken up to that point, you need to, because it is what it is. Well, that's enough on Don Lemon. I hope he gets prosecuted. I hope he actually gets convicted. He probably won't, but we'll see what happens.
For the latest in case updates, legal tips, news, and politics, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and our other socials, and above all, subscribe on YouTube to get your dose of excellence on a daily basis.